I don't need no help with money, I can count it myself. Took a step outside my circle, then surrounded myself. I got Lady Luck to come pay me a visit. She fell in love.
I got my guy, Aris Anthony Harris of the prestigious Harrises of Southeast Louisiana on the podcast today. And Aris is a dear friend of mine, somebody I've been knowing since I was a kid. He's somebody that inspires me, motivates me. He went to the Southern University, for those of you that don't know. That's a historically black college university in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And so Aris, man, I just kind of want you to give us a little bit of history on you, where you're from, you know, where you went to school at, and kind of talk about your gig with the USDA.
So I'm obviously, you introduced me, I'm Aris Anthony Harris. I'm from Washington, Louisiana. Even though I was born in Opelousas, I did live there 7 years, but we did migrate to the country pretty fast. About when I was 8, you know what I'm saying? And that really was which started the whole agriculture exposure. I was already exposed to it during that time. My father had a meat market. I don't know if I ever told you that. So I grew up watching my dad do entrepreneurship every day, grinding the meat, cutting the meat, you know, from full process, because he was a small local meat market. He didn't, you know what I mean? He wasn't scaling on a larger scale, but he did provide meat for, you know, I would say, looking back at it now, at least a quarter of Washington, especially all the black people in Washington.
Yeah.
Primarily, you know, underserved, I would definitely say that. But so I got exposed to it early on, just seeing the obviously cow-calf side. So that was kind of what we primarily did. My grandfather and my uncle with my dad, pretty much as far as agriculture goes, cow-calf, pretty much, as you may know, making babies, and then you would sell them, or and obviously we could process them for the family. You got a lot of options you can do. You can middleman it. There's a lot of different avenues you can go about doing that. But it's very profitable after you get a certain amount of cattle. Hold on one second.
Oh, it's all good.
X-Man, keep it down, buddy. Keep it down.
Hey, those of you that don't know, my guy Aris has a son. So all those parents out there, y'all know, like when you got a kid, it's kind of hard to sit down and do anything. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and but that's how I got exposed to agriculture early on, and obviously gardening when we got out to the country. I mean, my dad did a garden every year when I was little, but you know, moving out to the country, it was now a responsibility that she was going to take on, especially me being the oldest of 6.
Yeah.
That was just something that was expected.
Yeah.
You know, breaking rows, planting seeds, everything, man. And hell, Tony Harris, he old school. He not gonna really get technology. Gonna really have to figure out what would he got.
So I guess it is clear to say that kind of like your upbringing is the reason why you kind of navigated towards the USDA. So kind of tell us how you kind of got into that when you went to, well, why did you choose Southern University first off?
So it's a family legacy thing, as you may know, over at Southern. My grandfather's, you know, hitchhiked his way over there back when he was sharecropping. Well, my great-grandfather was a sharecropper, but my grandfather pretty much hitchhiked his way up to the yard. I forgot what year. I used to know years pretty sharp, but and hell, majored in math, and hell, went to the military, went back to law school around like 30 years old and got his law degree, and that was the legacy of you know, at that time, a lot of blacks, that's the only schools they could go to during when my grandfather was around. So it was more of a legacy thing, and not all my family is with Southern, but obviously when I was growing up, now I think about an 18-year-old, now Aris didn't really know what he really wanted to do when he was 18, but I did know I was always exposed to agriculture, and I was scheming on going to do some air conditioning, HVAC, at T.H. Harris. So my dad was like, look, at least give Southern a semester shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, take at least, you go at least go one semester.
Yeah, facts.
And at least give it a shot. And if you don't like it, you know, whatever it is, and, you know, and the rest is history. I got on with the USDA actually at Southern my freshman year. Travis, one of my good friends, Travis Miller, Kenny Blacks, they were USDA. They got the 1890 scholarship. So that's how I got actually exposed to the different opportunities that they presented to different agriculture majors. And
Dr.
then,
Travis. I might have to get Dr. T on here, man.
Yeah,
I remember when he was going through that whole application process for that USDA, man.
He is the man, bro.
Yes.
Like no denying, especially, you know, just getting that type of opportunity where they pay for your school full time, which is a really good deal. A blessing, man. And hell, and our job opportunity. And hell, he didn't really need that. He went on and got his, but back to me, I majored in plant soil sciences because I always loved plants.
Yeah.
It was just, I mean, even though I grew up around animals, but you know, animals have to eat plants to survive. So I just knew it was going to be a real critical operation. And yes, being that my father and my grandfather were in agriculture, it definitely gave me a sense of pride.
Yeah.
To know even if I didn't know what I wanted to do, I always knew I loved growing plants. So that I was like, agriculture might just be in my blood. And hell, looking back at it now that I know a lot of my lineage on my grandfather, my Miss Roses, the Bertrands, these people are farmers. My great grandfather, like they're like farmers by nature, farmers by trade. Like that's what they did to survive. So it just made sense to me why I've always been attracted to growing all kind of plants. And then I got on with the USDA my freshman year and went to Iowa for a summer, which eventually got
Iowa.
on to my full-time job after 4 years of, you know, graduating and going and doing all of that. But I'm actually no longer with the USDA. Just to be clear, I'm with the Army Corps of Engineers. When I transferred back down to Louisiana, I'm now doing work with the Corps of Engineers, which is still environmental work now on my side. I'm still doing pretty much with the same thing I was doing with the USDA, except with the USDA, they give farmers money. That's something that I'm not doing. I'm just enforcing the program.
Right. So
the law.
Not to cut you off, let's kind of pivot a little bit and kind of stay on the whole Southern University thing, because I know for me, one thing I try to push, especially on the kids that I coach. For those of you that don't know, I'm a basketball coach, and I try to, you know, I talk to a lot of coaches from a lot of these schools, and one thing I try to do is push my black players towards the HBCU. So you kind of just give us a little bit of information on you know, the HBCU system and just how it helped you, you know, as a young black man, how it helped you know, culture you and cultivate and motivate you, you know, a little bit.
So I have a very unique experience, being that I did go to HBCU. I went to a black Head Start, went to a black elementary, went to a black middle school, went to a black high school, went to a black college. And looking back at it, I'm pretty, you know, I didn't see it at the time, but it really empowered me when I started getting outside, or like during my summers where I would intern. I would meet other SWAC students, I would meet PWI students, you know, just students everywhere. And I would have conversations with them that went to HBCUs, and I would realize there's black people that didn't go to HBCUs. And I saw this difference right away. Just there's a sense of pride that the HBCU gives you. I'm not saying that it's superior or anything, but I'm just saying it's a pride. It's a sense of pride of comfort. You're just very comfortable around a lot of family, a lot of friends. It could be good and bad, but for the most part, when you get out into the real world, as you know, Donnell, that sense of being comfortable is just like, it's taken away so fast. You don't even realize, you know, you're always on your P's and Q's. You're always, you know, just being a man. You have to, and then being a black man in America, and I'm brighter, but still, you see things, you know what I'm saying? And I've always admired, you know, people that come into the go from HBCUs, and also they from my opinion, they're ready when they graduate from HBCU, like agriculture, nursing, really any major. If you're pretty prideful in, you know, what you're gonna, you know, kind of have an idea what you. When you leave and go out into the real world, which is majority white, you get a sense of knowing how to just be professional. I think HBCUs teach a lot of kids that's coming in, black kids, 18, 19. You also have immigrants that are also going to be at these HBCUs. You have African immigrants, you have Indian immigrants. You also have just a good variety of immigrants, to be honest. Not in high volumes, but you're definitely seeing that now.
going to an HBCU gave me a sense of pride. It made me comfortable. It gave me time to make mistakes when I was young and correct those mistakes as well. I met a lot of good friends at HBCUs. It's an experience that, you know, you really can't even describe the amount of people that you meet that have common, you know what I'm saying? You meet a lot of people at HBCUs, but at the end of the day, you're going to meet the same type of energy you put out. You're going to attract that same kind of group. That's what I was excited about.
I know for me, man, I went to PWI and I hated, like, I used to love when I used to go back to Baton Rouge and visit something. And every day I'm like, man, I need to transfer, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, because
you had different dreams, though. You had different, and you know, put everything back in context at that time. But you're right. When you did come partying, and look, college was a time, again, I didn't do too much drinking in high school. You know, I was a little bit more conservative in high school. But once I got to school, man, at Southern Yard, it was like my first time where, okay, it's just not some of my people back home that I may have looked at and like, damn, they was very stereotypical. But you got bright people, or what you consider, oh, look, these some of the smart kids. Now they're doing the same thing. They're having a good time. They drinking, being normal college kids. And you realize a lot of that, you can kind of loosen up on some of that. It's okay to come.
And I think a lot of that is the fear of being looked at, fitting that stereotype when you're at PWIs. You don't feel comfortable. You don't feel safe. So, but when you're at HBCU, you're surrounded by your people. You're surrounded by that culture. Right. So you're comfortable. You can let loose and just be a regular college student. You know, when you're at those PWIs, and I was talking to one of my players, and I was like, hey, you know, I asked them all, like, hey, how many of you guys? Because I haven't really been able to, you know, have that physical contact with any of them because of the coronavirus. Right. So I just, you know, in the group text, I was just asking, you know, who applied to colleges, this and that or whatever. And then, you know, the minority students I have, I'm like, hey, man, have you been applying to any HBCUs, this and that, you know? And I just let them know, like, hey, you have your entire life to be the minority. You need to take those 4 years and be the majority for once and enjoy yourself. You know what I mean? It's gonna prepare you for the world. You know what I mean? You get to be around your people, and you get to be able to be comfortable for the next 4 years. You know what I mean? So
networking is I know at Southern, the agriculture department in particular, and I don't want to say that any other department isn't being isn't great. I imagine they are. But I know I'm speaking on, you know, my experience at my agriculture department. The whole department is a family, man. When you come in, you feel like a family. Dr. Walker is giving scholarships, giving grants. You know what I mean? Dr. Miense is writing grants. The land grant university at Southern, the agriculture department, it's really, really a family, like driven. They show you how to work. They're gonna work with you. They're not gonna, if you fail in agriculture, because
you just ain't trying.
You rejected help, even because at the end of the day, your professors are gonna talk to you. And look, when you go to LSU or you go to some of these universities right here in Baton Rouge, the professor's not talking to you about trying to get you up to par about, you know, your grades. They noticed that you're slipping. That's not happening at any college. And I'm not saying that to say that, oh, look, they're gonna help you pass. No, they're concerned about you. They're concerned about you after.
They understand, and they can identify with you. That's what people don't understand, man. I was having a conversation about just like the numbers of suspensions in kids in kindergarten and pre-K compared to black kids compared to their non-black counterparts. You know, black kids are suspended in pre-K and kindergarten 10 times more. They're 10 times more likely to get suspended. You know what I mean? And we were just talking, like, you know, like just like you, I went to an all-black school, you know, get to high school, go to an all-black school, middle school, all of that. And the difference was there's like 80% of, if I'm not mistaken, 80% of teachers are, you know, young to middle-aged white ladies. You know, that's no knock on them, but they can't really identify with our kids, right? So when little Tyrone is acting up or talking in the back of the class, you know, his teacher, you know, that middle-aged white lady, she might be afraid. She might be scared. So she gonna call the security to come in there and escalate the situation, right? But that couldn't be Miss Kim, because I know there was a lot of times I was acting up Miss Kim, and she came up to me, she slapped me behind the head. I was like, boy, I'm gonna call you mama, I'm gonna call you papa.
Like I know people that start cutting up. Embarrassed. Back in the day, they'll come to the school and embarrass. I know my daddy would.
Absolutely, yeah.
Or somebody that's related should cut up, and you ain't want that. So
that's important, man. They don't like that. That relationship is super important because it really helps, in your development from a young age, but also when you get to college, having those people that can identify with you and understand because they've been in your shoes. It's one thing to be have a professor that was once a college student that was in your shoes as a college student. It's another thing to have a professor that was also in your shoes as a black person, right? And also a college student, also a working professional. It's a big difference.
I know, a lot of the issue is, PWIs offer, they got more partnerships with TV stations. They got more partnerships. They got more money. Alumni Association gives back a lot more to their athletic departments. And then obviously that increases your opportunities to go to the professional leagues, But, I always want to remind my brothers and sisters, and not that, again, it's a superiority complex or anything, but look at all the Hall of Famers in the NFL, and you look at some of the greats.
Shannon Sharp, Walter Payton.
Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice.
Going, Doug Williams. You could just keep going. The first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl, and you start really looking at some of these guys, some of the elite, the best of the best. Defense, offense came from HBCU.
Southern's running back played for the he was with the Chargers or somebody, I think, around.
Williams. He was defensive back, maybe. I forgot.
It was like the last few years. It was from.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was nice.
I have been pretty bad with recently, but I know again, if some of those dominant recruits start going to some of these HBCUs, which I've started to see some articles and some people making those decisions in small amount. If they start doing that, and like Shannon Sharp said, if you that dude, you that dude.
They're gonna come get you. Listen, I had a cousin.
They will come get you, and
man, a lot of people in my family play professionally, and I have a little cousin that's gonna be playing professionally in the next year. And they all the old heads you tell all the time, man, don't matter where you go, they're gonna come get you. I had a cousin that went to Mississippi Valley State, and he had a long NFL career. Another cousin that, you know what I mean? I got another cousin that went to a small school, had a long NFL career, and they always tell me the same thing. It don't matter where you go. If you can play, they're going to come find you. You know what I mean? So why not go somewhere where you can spend the next 3 to 4 years being comfortable and getting to understand and know yourself? So to get back on track, so why do you think a lot of young or just black people in general don't get into agriculture and farming and things like that? Why do you think that? Is it just a lack of knowledge? Do they feel like they just don't have access to funds or what is it?
So early on, I definitely, and I think that's still true, a more likely than not, I guess, sentiment that a lot of black people, I think, to answer your question right away, I think because of our history in America, we used to farm. We were the tractors at one point. We picked the cotton. We did really everything agriculture related, cleaning the plow in the fields, to manage and watering them. I imagine that even when it wasn't raining. So a lot of times, agriculture, the first thing you think of when a college student, mine is a farmer, which I am a farmer on the side. And whenever I'm approached by some of these older farmers, white ones, black ones, it doesn't matter what race, they always like, wow, you're a farmer, because I don't look like, and I don't dress like a farmer, and I may not talk like a farmer, but when we start talking about knowledge and start talking about how the techniques to grow different things, they realize right away, okay, he knows what the hell he's talking about. He knows what to do. He knows about soil quality and these other little different things that a lot of people don't know. But I think ever since I've been back to Southern, and reached out to some of the agriculture department, the numbers have gone up. I've been impressed with our agriculture. In my class, it was like maybe 8 of us, 10 of us, a class, when I was in school in 2009, 2013. And now, they're like having 3 or 4 different freshman classes. and they're maxed out, like 40, 30 people in the class now. So the good word is out about the opportunity. And that's kind of where I want to go to. A lot of Black people need to recognize that agriculture is not just farming. The USDA, government jobs, APHIS, AMS, ARS, Agricultural Research Service, Agriculture Marketing Service, economics.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter. Agriculture is broad range. I'm planting soil science. There's animal science. There's agriculture business, right? There's ag economics I had mentioned. It's broad. It's so broad now. There's environmental sciences, like if you start really getting down, family and consumer sciences that's tied to agriculture. So I think a lot of people just are not aware of the amount of opportunities, and at these HBCUs, because they're land grant universities, they have this partnership with the USDA 1890 scholarship program. A lot of times they're liaisons on these campuses. Like Southern has a liaison that's hired full-time through the USDA to be on the campus, right? Miss Allison Johnson. She is like step-by-step, hand-in-hand recruiting right there, getting, a lot of these guys, young ladies and guys, opportunities. It's very competitive, I may say, at Southern now, the agriculture department. So from going, and we always competed, even when I was in school, and Dr. Walker and them, they loved our class because we were very competitive, just by nature. Not in a very healthy competitive, nature, but now it's like, man, when I was in school, to get grant money, scholarship money, even if you wasn't a full-term scholarship, throw your little grants here, you do a little work here or there for anything agriculture related. Now, man, you need to have your grade point average right. You got to have all these other little different stipulations, amount of voluntary hours work here, you know what I'm saying, to get some of these, or you got to be willing to really put in a lot of the work, which we all did put in work to get that scholarship money, but it's a lot more competitive now to get into some of that, which is a good thing because a lot more people are coming into agriculture. So to answer your question, I think our history in America has kind of pushed us away from farming, but I think, and I know, and obviously the history has also taken away our land opportunities just throughout history. And sometimes I think if you don't have land in agriculture, sometimes you feel, and I know you're kind of locked out in a sense because you still need to lease or rent land or have access to some area if you want to really start scaling and actually making a profit, right?
Yeah.
If you're looking to do more commercial agriculture, it's like what I'm doing. But home gardening, man, and we can get into that later.
Yeah.
That's what I've been pushing real heavy. And I think a lot, ever since the pandemic, I think I read farming is up in the Black community like 40, 50%. Small out the buckets, right out the side the house, box gardens, you know what I'm saying? Small scale stuff. They are really jumping into it with a lot more times on their hands, especially early on in that pandemic. And, people are realizing fall, summer, spring, you can do different crops. Watermelon, you like that. Mustard greens, like fall, kale, spinach, all these different things that you can grow right outside your house that's a gift that just keep on coming back until like the end of the season, until it's done. So, some of these herbs, spices, some of these other little different things, I think a lot of Black people are finding out now they can do these things. And again, you're saving money. It's a lot healthier, no pesticides and herbicides. So that's something that I've been really happy. My neighbor, I got her to do a garden. You know what I'm saying? I done one out over here in my little subdivision. Nobody has a garden in this subdivision. So I done one behind my house. The good word spread, man. Look, I'm in business with my house, and
so not to cut you off, so let's talk about like the business side of it, because I know now, especially like you said with the pandemic, there's a lot of, if a person wanted to get into that side of agriculture, how can a person turn a profit? Like, how can a person who wants to make money, how can they make money like in that agricultural space as an entrepreneur? What are different ways?
Information, first thing you want to get if you weren't just born into doing it, since you were little. Information. A lot of this stuff is on YouTube. It's on the internet. The agriculture extension centers, LSU, Southern University, for my people in Louisiana, they have research on pretty much all the fruits and vegetables that we grow down in Louisiana. And they have free workshops where you can sign up their memberships to these different organizations pertaining to agriculture for minorities. For if you want to become a master gardener, you can take classes at the extension centers at LSU. They have programs where they're partnered with the USDA, and they'll even pay. If you go to these certain workshops for, a set amount of time, they'll pay for your certification to become a master gardener. So I would say start there right away. If you've never done any type of gardening, start there. A lot of times at these workshops, they give you a lot of free things, free seeds. They give you, you're going to obviously network, which is the most critical, I think, when you're getting into, if you're especially talking about doing commercial gardening, you want to eventually turn a profit and start selling. And it could be horticulture as well. It could be flowers, orchids, lilies. You start looking at, you go to Lowe's, you go to any little nursery, you realize these guys are selling plants $20 a plant, $15 a plant, $10 a plant. Well, these things are really just clipped from one mother plant. I can take one rose bush and just take clippings off of that bush, dip it in rooting powder, and stick it in one little small medium to grow in, and just do that 100 times, Donnell, and you could literally have you 100 roses growing.
You got the Super Saiyan.
I'm coming, baby. Super Saiyan.
You still not Super Saiyan.
All right, I'm coming. I'm gonna come check them out.
I remember those days, man. You got to pass
He's
that
excited about that
Saiyan
man.
knowledge down.
Yeah. But that's all they're really doing at those large stores. They might hire a garden person to just literally, whatever the most popular plant, like Rouse's local supermarket down in Louisiana, they're looking to work with local. Their whole thing is they work with local farmers, so their price is a little higher when you go in the stores, but they're doing non-contract with Louisiana farmers right now. They visited a couple of workshops that Southern put on, and I've met some of the guys, and whenever I start doing sunflowers, something like that, that's what they're looking for. They tell you what they're looking for. They'll tell you what they're looking for, and if you can grow it, dragon fruit, star fruit, you know what I'm saying? Like some of these things that are very avocados, high price.
Avocados are big, man.
They looking for it, you know what I'm saying? So, and we can grow these things now in Louisiana, obviously where you are on the West Coast, they have a good bit of them in Mexico, but workshops, agriculture extension centers, you're going to meet networking, which obviously is going to branch you up to some small scale farmers, some big scale farmers, and you're going to be able to find examples. You're going to find a style that you like, or you'll be able to copy somebody and then make your own style, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like music, how they doing music.
Same thing.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it. They find an agriculture extension center, reach out to some of these professors, and they are going to pinpoint you to a workshop, and man, you're going to find some farmers there.
Okay. So let's switch over to something that kind of both of us are kind of interested in. Let's talk cryptocurrency. Let's talk crypto. For people that don't know what crypto is, if they've been living underneath a rock, can you kind of give a brief overview of what crypto is?
I tell you what, bro, and man, I didn't realize it's getting to the point now. This stuff is evolving to the point where like you just get blessings in disguises now. Like I don't even know how to understand that. Uniswap, which is a decentralized exchange, and I don't want to go too deep into it, but all decentralized meaning there's no central power controlling it. So these decentralized exchanges, no central bank or any central power at all. No server. It's really, we're talking about just traders swapping their tokens or these monies amongst themselves. So like there's no way taxes could be brought up on. It's essentially you're trading black market like hand to hand. So like Uniswap just airdropped 400
to everybody, to everybody
who used their platform before September, and right now those 400, one of them costs $8.
Whew.
So I just got a little blessing.
That's the lick.
then I just got out of nowhere. So like yesterday, I woke up and I was like actually trying to figure out where I can go. I went on Uniswap to go try to buy some of their own token. I was like, damn, this thing is already at like $4. I can't, like, I'm not gonna be able to go in and grab 100 or 1,000 of them.
Yeah.
Or hell, you know what I'm saying? It's just too late. I missed the boat. And hell, man, the Facebook groups that I'm in, dudes say, man, go claim your free unis. I was like, what you talking about? 400, and it was like around $3 yesterday, and that's like at like $7, $8.
That's a lick.
And hell, I'm gonna hold them. Thinking it's already a top 30 crypto, so it's gonna be in that top 20. I'm thinking. So it's got some more to go.
So for those of you that don't know, man, cryptocurrency is
I didn't even explain it.
It's like it's decentralized way to do just about everything we already do. So there's different, there's
Right.
Ethereum, blockchain, there's Bitcoin. I know a majority of you guys heard about Bitcoin, but that's like a decentralized system that you can utilize to do things from,
Sending money
to purchasing to
yes.
just all different kind of
investing. Obviously, you need to invest, but the whole concept behind it is that it's no middleman no more.
Yeah.
No more fee. The fees are a lot smaller than what you would pay on a MoneyGram or the efficiency that there's no more waiting. You download a wallet, I download a wallet, you give me your address, I'll send you the money. I've even seen strippers again, and this is real. They're putting their tattoo Bitcoin wallet on their arm, and hell, I saw certain luxury. One thing Bitcoin is used right now, the luxury places are using it. Luxury apartments, luxury vehicles that you can pay in Bitcoin now. And obviously, outside of America, there are certain places where it's legalized, and you can buy airplanes all the way to Starbucks, and so now it's completely evolved when we got in it, and just being exposed to it. But now it's a store of value. Yeah. If you want to know what it is, I just digital gold. Gold has no use as well, but they say that's value, right? Whereas Bitcoin has no use, but it has value now because everything's going digital.
It's like Uber. Uber doesn't own a car, but they're valuable because there's so many different things you can do. Everybody else can make money with Uber, and Uber doesn't own a car. So, it's. I think personally,
coding. I know you push that, and I think a lot of young Black people need to look at that. Coding. Look at all these guys that Facebook, Amazon, Tesla, all these guys, artificial intelligence. Obviously, Elon is doing something different, environmental. But when you start looking at, all these guys that are getting this, and obviously we know a lot of the opportunity they've had to get into some of that. But the exposure is here now. I think a lot of young kids just may not know, and some of them, but this is the future. Artificial intelligence, coding, the robots are taking, they are here, and right there at Walmart, when you use the self-checkouts, you might not look here or there, but they're here.
I know here,
driving, that's coming.
They completely closed. They don't even have people working the registers no more. There's an entire store with just self-checkout, nothing else. You know what I mean? So when I try to push people to get their kids into, into coding and things like that. Like I was watching a Nipsey Hussle interview a long time ago, and I forgot that brother's name. What's that brother's name, man? That he partnered with. Real smart dude, man. And
I forgot his name, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah. He was doing that guy you're talking about was running was investing in the crypto. They were doing everything.
Yeah. Well, he said, like with your kids, he said coding is one thing, but they need to be able to build systems. You know what I mean? So it's really important that you get your kid in a program that teaches them how to build like a platform and a system. So like Apple has iOS, and then there's the Android. You know what I mean? So he said it's super important because we don't have our own systems. We don't have anyone that even has the ability to create those things. And if they do, we don't know about them. So he was talking about how, that stuff is important. One thing we don't want to be is left behind. Like we didn't benefit from the oil rush. We ain't benefit from that. We ain't benefit from the gold rush. We ain't benefit from one rush yet. So we
Well,
have
yeah,
an opportunity to get in head first.
what would they call that? The Silicon Valley. You're right. It's India. You look at immigrants in that bad boy now. More not that it's a knock or anything, but yeah, you're right. When you start really looking at some of these different, because you're right. This tech push, Bitcoin, 2010 early. We missed that early on. And look at what it's evolving now. You got Ethereum now, where you can create dApps, applications, decentralized apps. They got this yield farming now, where you can they're allowing you to collect fees from the pools. You provide liquidity. So that's the whole thing about when you do decentralized trading. You need people that actually have big bags of money to trade, so you can actually have money to cash out it. So if you got people that's basically putting their money up and paying entry, basically getting paid interest to hold their money here so you can trade it. So some of these guys, so it's starting to get more balanced. You had a lot of whales, what they call people that own a lot, got in Bitcoin real early, and they might have like thousands of Bitcoins and hundreds of thousands of Bitcoins.
We already have billionaires from Bitcoin, man.
Yeah, like
twins.
These are young millionaires. They've already, Ethereum, they have hundreds of thousands of Ethereum. So, these people are really doing good in life if you really start looking at financially. So, but I think cryptocurrency is heating up again, mainstream wise. I'm looking at certain banks already starting to come out with their own stable coins. That's gonna, those stable coins don't move. They always stay $1 or whatever the standard is. Which right now the U.S. dollar is standard across everywhere. So certain banks are already starting to adopt the technology. It's here. It's just it's still maturing. So you still got opportunity to come in and buy some of these technologies. While especially, I always tell people to buy on discount. Don't buy just because everybody's like going buy right now. Because in about 2 months you're gonna be able to get it when you want to get it. So and that takes time. When you start trading, and that's a trading skill that you just, you lose money your first year or two doing it, trying, and then you realize, okay, this is how you see how people are moving now. Like I only buy shit when a pandemic is striking now. Like the standard gets set now. Like what's the next one? Like I'm gonna need something really bad to happen for me to go talk about going to buy some Bitcoin. Because right now it's kind of high. And somebody, now you can go in and buy, every 2 weeks, $20, $40 here. I'll never knock that. But to go in, if you're telling me you got $10,000 and you want to put it on Bitcoin right now, unless you believe it like me, I wouldn't do it.
I know me. I'm still waiting on Verge to blow up. I'm trying to get rich. Verge blow up, that's gonna change my life.
You know what? You just need another push where a lot more people, because again, the space is still immature. It's the market cap's is only 350 billion. 350 billion. So it's not even $1 trillion market cap. It's not even bigger than the foreign exchange trade market. It's not even bigger than the stock markets right now. So it's a lot of opportunity for growth. So I'm buying for the future. I'm buying for the next 10 years. I'm buying my son some, he got some, I got some, my wife got some. I give stuff away, gifts. I might have to bless you, my brother. It's your birthday today. Because at the end of the day, the unit swap was a blessing. Like I told you, that was like, I woke up to that and I was like, wow, I can claim 400. And then right at the gap, it was at like 1,200 for 400 of them. And I was like, that's a pretty good deal. And shit, man, I waited. I saw people talking about selling, and sometimes in the trading space, you do sell and take your profit while it's there, because you never know when it might just go down and lose it. But shit, that shit tripled and doubled now. So
I missed that that Neo when it was ant shares. That shit still hurting me, man.
I got like only 20 of them now. I mean, that's still pretty. That's like going up now, man. It's like $23, $24 for one. And again,
I got some, but it was already Neo. It wasn't even ant shares no more.
High as hell. People, I think people need a. Again, these are opportunities like the Coinder group that I'm in. They've created
Shout out to Coinder, man. If you guys ain't in there, get in there on Facebook.
I be adding people in there, and I think it's gonna be a slow grind. But I think, and this is what I'm talking about. This is really what I want to talk about, using the time to talk about cryptocurrency. So there's this group called Coinder, and if you want to add, just let me know and I'll add you. And anybody, no race, anybody can get in.
Lamar Wilson and a few of the Althea and a few of the people that founded it, at least helped found it. And they really just wanted to create a cryptocurrency that the Black community could utilize, or obviously minorities with the topic that we started off with. But, they named it after C.J. Madam Walker, which is a Black woman, entrepreneur. And the Garveys are instead of Satoshi. So like Bitcoin has Satoshis, like Satoshi Nakamoto is a guy or woman that evidently created Bitcoin. And so they count their dollars or their cents, and they call them Satoshis. So we call our cents Garveys. But I think if you want to get in it, let me know. But the whole theory behind that real quick is that, Bitcoin, the reason why Bitcoin is worth 11,000 for one is because people believe it's worth 11,000. Right now, the CJ Madam Walker cryptocurrency that we have is worth right now, but last time I checked, it was like 7 cents or 10 cents. I actually just bought like 3,000 more today because it went down to like under a 1 cent. So I took like $30-$40 and got like 5,000.
Yeah.
So like when it jumps back up, if the high was like 15 cents, when it jumps back up, I personally don't sell because the whole goal about the whole community is that we buy and hold, and eventually our token is going to be like a Black Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And so in about 10 years, when people really start catching on to a lot of this more digital way of transfer of wealth, they can put their money into our cryptocurrency, and eventually everybody will have something that we can trade with amongst ourselves. We can cash out to cash if you need cash. You can really start sending gifts. It could really be our own currency, because if you really start looking at America, the US dollar is the reason why we're fighting and killing each other, is because we need it, right? This is what they say we gotta have to trade to feed our families.
And it's crazy.
This is a way that we can, get away from the dollar in a sense, so I'm loving that. That's a way that we can literally enriching ourselves, not for greed, but necessarily to really live free. We can start purchasing properties and some of these other little different things. Because I think a lot of Black people and minorities understand, they're a lot more aware now of some of the positive, successful moves that they can make. I think a lot of opportunity has been stifled, and hopelessness is what I'm finding out. But crypto is a way that we can break cycles. It's a way that we can, it's the quickest way that I've seen the transfer of wealth go from broke to now I'm balling, or like, man, I got like several thousands of dollars of liquidity that I've never had.
Yeah.
It's definitely changed my life investing in Bitcoin. And I've even taken 401k money out of my 401k account. I've saved cash. I've saved, over a year, a whole paycheck, maybe $20, $50 every 2 weeks, right? Whatever it is, I've done, and just waited for that time when that crash came and bought in.
Came.
And bro, like, I kid you not, you might have
back.
a whole bad year, 2 years of just like, this shit it's just looking bad. Like, you don't even, but when you think about it down there, as minorities, Black people in this country, a lot of us don't have hope, man. So, when you get that little 1 day out of 300, 400 days where, damn, I'm up like $5,000 or $10,000 or like $20,000. Now I can like pay off a few debts here. It just changes your life, man. So I know some people that say money doesn't buy happiness, and I know that's true. But I tell you what, I'd rather have
alleviate some of the pain.
Yeah, I'd rather be unhappy and have money. That's for damn sure.
For sure. Yeah, because it's harder when you're unhappy and broke. I tell you.
When you're unhappy and broke, that causes depression, man. Yeah. Depression. And that's anxiety, man. Anxiety. Everybody deals with anxiety. You Black in America. I mean, you got bills to pay. Shit, and them motherfuckers don't stop. They come back. So that's something that it's been a mental break for me. Bitcoin, in a sense that I utilize it. It hasn't made me rich. Has it changed? It's changed my life. It's got me a down payment for my house. It's small little things here or there. Paid off some debt here or there for my wife and me. Some of that stuff. So it's something that I've incorporated in my life every day. Take a look at it, even when tough times are there. You still take a look at it, and I still today educate people
about just taking a chance. And because this is not something that I'm trying to get you to sign up to where you're gonna make some money on you. This is something where you can just do yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's the future. So I think a lot of people should start taking a look at that, and just study it, start researching it, start reading about it, look at some videos. It's all over now, man. You know what I'm saying? They should be able to bare minimum, and it takes discipline. I'm not gonna sit up here and try to act like it's not something that you gotta want to do it. Even if you get a plan where you're buying once a month, but yeah, it might be 12 months of you just like, this ain't doing nothing for me. But all it takes is that 1 month in Bitcoin to change your life, or that for that moment you realize, damn, okay, this is not that bad.
Man, there's been some times where we'd missed out on some. I can't remember what that coin was, man. It was that dental coin. I can't remember what it was. And it had, that shit had them jump all the way to like, I don't know, bro. Like,
I think I remember that too. I missed out on that. And
man, I can't remember, but it was a lot of money.
They got pump and dumps and those things, and then hell, you got to really be watching it then, because the market's never closed. So you really need to be watching it 24/7. But that thing, I'm pretty sure jumped to like 40 grand, man, at one point.
Yeah, and we had a lot of them, man.
500 or whatever, $200. But that you missed you just like that, man. You sleep overnight, or you wake up. Which lets you know people are just trading around the clock, man. I'm realizing now people set notifications when price alerts go here or there. So I've gotten better with certain tools with just if I'm in it for making money. But right now a lot of it is for my son. It's for me later. It's maybe if my wife leaves me, at least I got something that you know what I'm saying. I got something here that they gonna have to like literally indict me to get the codes, and then at that point I say, well, go ahead, lock me up. Y'all not getting them codes. I'll get them codes to my son later. Y'all not getting them. It's a lot of different strategies when you start talking about Bitcoin. But again, people pay your taxes on it. They don't try to cheat or anything. But I think for a fact, Donnell, cryptocurrency is something that, oh my God, I'm getting older people into it. Younger people should already.
I got my mama on it, man.
I'm shocked younger people aren't dying on this, because I showed my little brother this, and he's starting to kind of buy some stocks here or there, like some of these other little guys, KJ and a few other people that I've been mentoring just on a day-to-day or a month-to-month, just little financial advice, just to help out some people and realize some people need day-to-day, day-to-day solutions, day, week to week, month to month. That matters, man. People are stressed, and money is part of the problem. Whether people acknowledge that, bills, it don't matter what it is. You're gonna have to use some money to pay. So, becoming financially literate, cryptocurrency is a way to another tool that you have in your pocket. I think anybody and everybody should be in it, especially Black people. Minorities too. I don't see why not. Again, 400 Uniswap tokens free yesterday. If I wasn't trading, I wouldn't have got that.
Yeah. So cryptocurrency is super important to me too, man. And, I try to educate as many people as I can on it too. I believe that it's something that can really help with the whole group economic aspect of, because I think that's something that specifically the Black community is missing. We don't practice group economics at all. You know what I mean? So I think as we become more financially literate as a group, I think that, we're going to start navigating towards, cryptocurrency. And it's important. Like I said earlier, we missed out on all the major rushes, the oil, the gold, land, all those things. We didn't get a chance to get into that earlier. We're right in the midst of a transition. Like Andrew Yang said, it's like an entire transition we're in the middle of. And cryptocurrency is young. So we have an opportunity right now to get into that and that digital revolution. So people, if you don't know anything about it,
and look, it's evolving and
it's evolving every day.
Every time I get into it, if I keep 2 months off where I ain't watching it every day, I'm learning new things that, damn, I missed this. I missed that. It goes fast. Don't get me wrong, but for the most part, You figure out some little different communities, groups, it's like stock market, read the news. Reading, man, like you got to be able to read. It's kind of like something every day you need to be reading about some of these things. I read articles every day about cryptocurrency, stock market, really financial period. That's how I shape my mind of what kind of investor I want to be. Do I want to invest long-term, short-term? Which companies I think realistically are going to bring something or are going to actually bring a product that people are going to use, and that could be transformative. So I think everybody need to be taking a look at these things, because again, you can create anything. Think about this: a lot of people lack what, Donnell? Imagination.
Yeah.
A lot of people lack that, and seeing these different things that they're building, we start seeing different prototypes here, different platforms here, different ideas that you never would even think about, but you just never wrote it down. You never actually saw a product that came from it. I think that's what this space is reminding me of. Like you said, it's a boom. It's a tech boom where everybody has an idea. Some of it could be scamish, but you got a lot of it where you got
research
really
is important.
Innovative.
So let me ask you. So I think we should do something like this, like every other week or every week, man, where you come on and we just talk to them about the day in the crypto market. Updates in the crypto market, different ideas,
that's
different
what I specialize in.
Yeah.
So
let me ask you this question. If you can give your 18-year-old self any kind of advice, if you can go back and talk to your 18-year-old self, what advice would you give your 18-year-old self?
Don't be afraid to stand out. Insecurities when you're young, it's so foolish now when you're confident, and not because you're cocky, you're confident in who you are. Yeah. And that takes a long time. I don't want to make it seem like, because I'm still developing and still evolving. I'm not done. But I would tell my 18-year-old self to never be afraid to stand out. For one, read a lot more, and don't be afraid to learn new things. You know what I'm saying? And take chances.
Yeah.
Not crazy chances, but you know what I'm saying? If you got an intuition that's really solid, take chances. I was always one, and be confident.
Yep.
Like I played sports, I wasn't the greatest, but what I'm saying is, like, I never always felt in my mind now looking back at it, like when I look at the Aris who I am now is, obviously 18, it's totally different. But I'll just give sports for example. When I used to play ball, just even outside the house with my friends or and classmates, I always felt I'm going too hard. Like I don't need I always try to script out how the game would go, and like, I don't want to go have full speed. I'm only gonna go half speed because I don't want to. That make no sense in a competitive in a competitive game. And this is an example. It makes no sense, man. You give everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, just go all out. I don't care if you don't know what you're doing. Like, give that effort. So I lacked effort and seriousness. I had discipline at 18, but effort, seriousness, procrastination, obviously, that's a killer, man, at 18. But that's what I would tell myself. Be confident and don't be afraid to lose, and fail. That was something that I struggled with early on.
I know for me, man, one thing that I'm going to teach my son, and something I try to teach my daughter is, like, for me personally, I was so good at everything that I did that I was never great at one thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was seriously, man, I was so good at everything that when it came to school and grades and when it came to sports, I was always really good at everything I did.
Really?
I was never great at one thing. So it's just being able to find that thing that you
stay focused on that one. I understand what you're saying.
And lock in and master something. Be a master and an expert at one thing, because it's okay to be good at everything, but you need to be great at something too, because you'll never reach your full potential. And it's hard to monetize something you're good at least to the highest extent.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if you're an expert, people always want to hire experts, or people always want to partner up with someone who's an expert in something. You know what I mean? There's a whole bunch of people that are good at everything, but they only the people that are experts at something get paid the big bucks. So, one thing I try to
You're right.
tell myself, man,
Right.
is, hey, man, be a master of something. You know what I mean? Take something
I'll give
serious.
you an example. My job right now that I do, I delineate wetlands. And as simple as small as that may sound, delineate, I make a map and draw in red. Look, this is where the wetland boundary is. I make a little picture, a little circle, a little shape of how the wetland, it could be all swiggly, whatever, but and I might show you where the water's at. I put that over a Google Earth image. There are people that do what I do on the private side, as they call them, consultants. I might get a little salary from the government, might be 50 grand, 60 grand, 70 grand, 80 grand, whatever they're paying me, right? It's taxed. Whereas on the private side, they make pictures too, just like me. I check them. They get paid $5,000-$10,000 a delineation. So, you get really good at delineating wetlands. And this is just something, just to piggyback what you said, as it don't matter how crazy it is, you can be good just making bread. If you become a good bread maker.
That's it. You just gotta be a baker, man. You gotta be a great baker, brother.
It don't matter what simple, small, and look, people eat bread everywhere. They eat bread all throughout the time. Since the time. If you get really good at something,
it's a jewel.
People will come fuck with your shit.
Absolutely. It's good.
Because they believe, if you believe in your product, they believe in you, man. And again, if you bring in that same quality product, whatever it may be, like you said, expert mastery level, people want that, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's something I pay for mastery level items. There's things that I can learn that pertain, that's gonna help me, benefit me in the future. I pay for that stuff. So especially if I can give me somebody that is considered an expert, because you'll know if they're expert. You look at their work, they don't,
Absolutely, man. But yeah, man, this was a very insightful conversation, man. So what I wanted you to, one last thing, man, if there's anything that you want to leave with the listeners or the young people that might be tuning into this, what is something that you want to leave them with?
Get in tune with nature. Start gardening, even if it's a few box gardens, a few barrel gardens. It involves you, all those things go tie in together. Your health, exercise, you're reducing the amount of money you're spending on tomatoes, onions, garlic, green pepper, green onions, bell peppers, all these little different things. And never be afraid to stop learning. As new information is brought to me, I change my opinion. I might be outspoken on some different things, and that's because I feel that way. It's because of some information or some facts that I'm going off of. But as new information is brought to me, I change my opinion down there, especially if it makes sense. And it's not, and sometimes it's hard to swallow, man. A lot of times ego, we got to let go of ego.
Man, we have to be ever evolving, man. We have to be ever evolving, man. Don't be afraid to evolve and grow.
Who's fixed all our issues? Nobody has fixed our issues yet. So for some people that have egos, it's just beyond me. So I even check myself every now and then. I'm not as social as, some people might say, oh, you got an ego. No, I just not social like I used to be. you find a family balance. We both got families, and you got your parents, you got your own family, wife, kids, job. A lot of times people just they're busy, man. Like, and not just because they're busy avoiding you, they busy with their own life. So that's something that I think I would like to leave with people, of finding that balance in life, and making yourself happy. Obviously, people are depressed, Donnell. I'm depressed sometimes, thinking about things. I'm depressed sometimes.
Millennial burnout, it's a real thing. Look it up.
These are normal things. People get depressed, and I'm not saying I'm sitting here like, oh, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm not. I'm saying I'm depressed sometimes. Not not every day, but you being Black, if you care about certain things, that's gonna bring anxiety and depression just right away. Knowing that some kids are not gonna have certain opportunities, and then hell, man, all of my
just that we can that's just a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
But that's what I would like to leave with people today, man. Don't be afraid to learn something new every day. Read anything, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be from the mainstream. It can be from other people, YouTubers, podcasters. Don't be afraid to learn. And obviously, think about other people. I know that's something tough. I ain't saying dedicate your life, but like I was just questioning this Uniswap that I got, 400 free today. Aris, you're in a good situation right now. Maybe somebody might need some of that.
Yeah.
And I've already actually put it in my mind. I'm gonna donate at least 100 of them to some people that I know.
Yeah, that's what it's about, man. Giving back as much as we possibly can, and being that example that we want, other people to be able to see, and be that example that we want our kids to be able to live up to. But
hey, you know who you also need to get on? You need to get Travis Miller, and you need to interview Stillman Lede.
Absolutely, I already got them.
That's a good brother that that I admire from the distance. I met him for you, but I'm just saying we're in different parts. But later on, when I get into real estate, I know who I'm going to.
Hey, man, if you are selling your house or anything like that, or you need renovations, man, Avery Property Investors. Shout out to Stillman, man. And if you have a horse, man, if you have St. Landry Parish, if you have a horse, and you just need to get him right or get it right, Dr. Travis Miller, the best in the game. I'm talking Kentucky Derby.
Hey,
you hear me?
If you're interested in gardening, if you're interested in commercial, if you're just interested in getting a greenhouse, holla at William Laverne. He works for the USDA. He knows what you need to know. He's managing. He's a manager of some of these programs. So, again, we got resources, and as we do some more of these, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna put a list of people out. Look, go talk to them.
Man.
Go talk to them. I'm a resourceful person. I'm all right. I'm not rich. I'm not. I'm working toward financially freedom. But for the most part, that's one of our greatest assets. Just being resourceful, pointing people in the right places, talking to the right people. That's gonna help them out, man. It's almost like that HBCU thing. You say you want like somebody type of family environment.
Yeah.
Not somebody that's gonna say, "Oh, pay me $25 before I can even say all right."
Come on, man. And if that information is free, you're gonna get it back. They're gonna get it back. Man.
Tip those people, man. Especially some of these people pay for their service, but tip them, man. If they give you some game.
That's absolutely, man. But I'm gonna let you get back to the little man. Go finish watching that Dragon Ball Z. We're gonna have to get you back on here so you can give us some more information on those cryptos, man. Because I know these people
talk about crypto, and we need to talk about some more dieting, not necessarily of trying to tell people how to eat, but just showing them grow some things again that can reduce, like hibiscus can lower blood pressure. You can grow that in the back of your garden and crush it up and make a tea out of it, make a jam out of it. Just small little things we can. That's what I do every day down there. I garden and then I do crypto, so I feel comfortable speaking on that every day.
That's what it's about, man. All right. You guys were tuned into the Rare Form Podcast, man. This is your boy, Real Coach Donnie, at Real Coach Donnie. And this is my boy, Aris Anthony Harris, man. All right. We'll see y'all again next week.
Good talking with you. You have a blessed day, man. Enjoy your time. And look, I know you about to soon have a special package on the way. I'm wishing you and your wife a healthy delivery. Y'all both deserve a healthy delivery, and y'all gonna have that. So it's a special moment that's about to happen. Y'all enjoy your time down there. If you need anything, just give me a buzz, man.